So the Indiana Fever are facing the Chicago Sky, and they are playing, obviously, in the United Center. There are 20,000 seats. It is going to be one of the most biggest attended WNBA games of all time. I don't know if it's going to be more or less attended, because I think it was 20,000 and something in the Mystics' last game of last season, where in fairness, Caitlin Clark played, 15 minutes in that game or something? Caitlin Clark did she even play in the second half? But yeah, that was obviously a huge game. But this game being in the United Center, if you guys did not see, tickets sold out. And tickets sold out in 5 minutes. They sold out in 5 minutes. United Center sold out in a minute. Sorry, not in a minute, 5 minutes. A minute. It was a fight even trying to get tickets. Seats kept disappearing. They started $200. Back in 2007, you get season tickets for that price. You can go get season tickets probably a year ago for that price in some teams. Again, I'm not going to say all teams. I'm not going to say all teams on that one, because there were some teams that made decent money. But they're there to watch. It's going to be all Fever fans again, but
it finally happened. Angel Reese got a taste of the Caitlin Clark effect, and it hit her hard. The game took place at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, where tickets sold out in just 1 minute. But it wasn't because of Reese or the Chicago Sky, it was all because Caitlin Clark was coming to town. Right now, the biggest name in women's basketball isn't Angel Reese, it's Caitlin Clark. And Reese? She's not happy about it.
For my teammates, and if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily...
Despite all the talk about Bayou Barbie and her so-called star power, Angel Reese couldn't even fill her own home games, not even on her best day. But as soon as Caitlin Clark came to town, Chicago fans rushed to buy tickets. This was a tough wake-up call for Reese and other WNBA players who've been trying to downplay Clark's influence. Here's the reality: the game between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever, featuring Caitlin Clark, sold out in just 1 minute. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky, with Angel Reese and rookie Camila Cardoso, couldn't even come close to selling out that quickly. The Wintrust Arena, where the Sky play, holds about 10,000 fans. That's a smaller number than NBA arenas, but still too large for Reese to sell out on her own. The difference? Caitlin Clark draws the crowd. If these numbers don't prove who the real star of the WNBA is, I don't know what will. Chicago fans, including those at Angel Reese's own home games, are more excited to see Caitlin Clark than their own rookie sensation.
These are her rookie season in the WNBA. Angel Reese.
Remember when Angel Reese and her team downplayed the idea that Caitlin Clark was bigger than the game? Yeah, this is a bit awkward now. No matter how much Reese or the WNBA try to promote the idea of a diverse, multiple-star league, the numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark is the reason people care about women's basketball. She's the reason ratings are up. She's the reason the city of Chicago, where Angel Reese plays, is packed for this game. If you thought Reese wasn't happy seeing Clark get all the attention in college, just imagine how she feels now, knowing even her own home team's fans care more about Clark than her. Let's be honest, she'll probably take a shot at Clark in an interview or on social media because she can't handle the truth. Let's take a step back. The WNBA has been around for over 25 years, but never before has there been this much buzz. It's not Angel Reese, not Aya Wilson, and not even the Chicago Sky as a whole, it's one person, Caitlin Clark. The WNBA draft lottery saw the highest TV ratings ever. The draft itself was the most watched in history. The Indiana Fever schedule release caused an immediate spike in ticket sales. And the Chicago Sky vs. Fever game? Sold out in just 1 minute. Now, let's compare that to Angel Reese. LSU was already a championship-winning program before she got there. She played under Hall of Fame coach Kim Mulkey and had multiple five-star recruits on her team. Yet Reese couldn't come close to having the same kind of impact as Clark. Say what you will, but the numbers speak for themselves.
Say what you want about Angel Reese. You can't tell me she isn't the star of every show every time she's on the court. I can't even hate on this. She's Larry, Moe, and Curly all at once.
Caitlin Clark built Iowa's program from the ground up, shattered every record, and now she's completely revitalizing the WNBA, even in places where the league was once ignored. Some fans still argue that Angel Reese is just as big of a name as Clark, but let's break that down. Clark dominates engagement across all platforms. Her games sell out everywhere, including cities that don't even have a WNBA team. Fever jerseys are flying off the shelves, while Angel Reese's jerseys, not so much. TV ratings for any game featuring Clark are breaking records. So, while Angel Reese can keep calling herself Bayou Barbie, the reality is that Caitlin Clark is the one bringing in the real money.
The WNBA players are in. It's a positive position for the Chicago Sky, and there's only one problem with that, is that there is going to be more Fever fans. There's going to be more Fever fans than Sky fans there.
This situation puts Angel Reese in a tough spot. If you're the Chicago Sky, you have to ask, how do we market Reese when our own fans are more excited about Caitlin Clark? If Clark is the one boosting our attendance, what does that say about Reese's star power? If Reese really wants to be the face of the WNBA, shouldn't she be able to sell out her own home games without Clark's help? It's a tough reality for Reese. She's supposed to be a big draw, yet her city only shows up when Caitlin Clark is in town.
Bomb from Caitlin Clark. Not to pick up the second because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut. Clark.
Let's be honest, many WNBA players aren't thrilled about Caitlin Clark getting all the attention. They've downplayed her impact, tried to create division, and acted like she's just another rookie. But this sellout shows otherwise. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just real, it's undeniable. And for Angel Reese, it's a tough reminder that she's not the main attraction. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is the reason people are watching. She's breaking records, selling out stadiums, and single-handedly pushing the WNBA into the mainstream.
The double-double streak. They were in like the 7th and 8th playoff spot and had a meltdown during that streak.
Angel Reese might not like it, and other WNBA stars might not like it, but the truth is clear in the numbers. Chicago Sky fans have made their choice. They want Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese is just another player in Clark's league. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just dominating WNBA ticket sales, it's also highlighting Reese's actual lack of star power. It's one thing to not be the biggest draw in your own home stadium, but it's another thing entirely when even your own league and hand-picked showcase can't generate any real buzz.
Reese along 2, drills it. Reese is on the left of Banham. Shuffle pass to Allen, who looks for Reese again, but Wheeler's in the way, and the Fever leak out. Caitlin Clark, a layup drill for her.
Reese and other WNBA stars created the unrivaled off-season basketball league, designed to showcase the best women's talent outside the WNBA. On paper, it seemed like a great idea, a player-led league with full control over game structure, marketing, and business model. It was supposed to be a chance to compete outside the WNBA's framework. But in reality, nobody cares.
Harrington off the mark as Clark steps into a 3. Connecticut, second last in the league in three-point percentage, just under 29%. Clark heaved.
There are hardly any updates about the unrivaled league, almost no fan interest, and no real numbers to show it's making an impact. If Angel Reese was truly a star on Caitlin Clark's level, unrivaled should be thriving. Instead, it's struggling to get attention before it's even fully off the ground. If Reese can't generate excitement for a league she helped create, how can she possibly lead a WNBA franchise the way Caitlin Clark is doing with the Indiana Fever?
Or get rebounds that aren't off her own misses. It seems like every time I scroll X, I see 50 of these clips. How the hell can she miss 15 layups a game?
Let's rewind to the start of the 2024 WNBA season. Angel Reese entered the league with massive hype, fresh off a national championship with LSU. She was marketed as the next big personality in the WNBA, the league's answer to Caitlin Clark, a player who could attract fans and attention. But from the moment both players stepped onto the court, the gap between them became painfully clear. Caitlin Clark was immediately the biggest draw, selling out stadiums from day one. Angel Reese, not so much. While Clark was breaking records, leading the league in viewership, and bringing in new audiences, Reese struggled to make an impact.
Big hood! Boston, who also has a 15-5-5 game today.
Here's Clark, catch, fire, and connect.
It didn't take long before a new narrative emerged, one that tried to explain Caitlin Clark's popularity in ways that had nothing to do with basketball. As the season went on and it became clear that Clark was the undisputed biggest name in women's basketball, Reese and her supporters pushed a familiar excuse: the only reason Clark is so popular is because white fans rally around her. That was the talking point used to justify why Clark's impact was far greater than Reese's. But now, a season later, that argument holds no weight. Why? Because the contrast between their skills is undeniable.
Diamond to Shields. Taking it all the way and goes off the glass.
If Caitlin Clark was just a flash in the pan, she would have faded by now. Instead, she's only become more dominant. Meanwhile, Angel Reese has struggled to live up to the hype. Here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody in Reese's camp wants to admit: she's just not that good.
Knock it down and
that's the way to push the ball in transition.
oh, that's not gonna.